Hey, this is Individual Perspective Podcast. I'm your host, Daris D. McKinney, and we're back for another one. Okay, these are going to be about three segments, so it's be about three episodes. I'll kind of cover this for it'll be the first one, will be about pretty much the event. All the burning and all the damaging of the California fires. The second one is the politicians and the situation that's going on and how they were handling it. And the third one is the aftermath. Okay, so we're gonna kind of knock these out, and I'll say it'd be about three separate clips, separate episodes. But we're gonna do them all today. We're gonna do them all right now. I might have to be 30 minutes in between this one and the next one, but that's about it. But how you guys doing? Good morning. My name is Daris D. McKinney. Like I said, this is Individual Perspective Podcast, where your truth is the objective truth. Why? Because you would train yourself, or at least lock yourself in discipline, to never allow information from the media, your family, mother, father, siblings, the community, your favorite movie stars, your favorite musicians, your favorite politician, your favorite philosophical speaker, your favorite motivational speaker, or whatever rhetoric that's outside your head. You would never let it come into your head and you don't vet it. You have to put it under an intense, extreme vetting process. And that's what individual perspective is. It makes you be disciplined to be true to yourself. So if you know what the truth is, you know how to articulate the truth, okay? And so Individual Perspective Podcast is about making sure that we communicate in truth and honesty and have pure objectivity to the way that we communicate, no matter what, no matter if I'm talking about news coverage or social dynamics or relationships or just the way the world moves, okay? The Individual Perspective says I have to be truthful in how I communicate with you. Now, you may understand what I'm saying that's to be true, but then you would kind of be able to vet it. Even if you were to leave this podcast and go see if something that I said has any validity to it, you'll see that that holds up. And that's what I want, objectivity, and be very truthful about everything. So once you communicate it in your social circle, or even the conversations that you may disagree with me or agree with me on, when you communicate it when you're in your actual social circles, or you do your research and your vetting structure to it, you'll find that I was truthful. Okay, that's what individual perspective is. And you guys got to forgive me for this internet kind of. I shut down the computer and I booted it back up, and I have no idea why it's doing that. That is pretty weird. So I think it's some throttling going on, or maybe it's the software giving me issues. But I'm not gonna stop. I'm just gonna kind of talk through it. Sometimes when it's about 10 minutes, 13 minutes in, it'll start acting right. Okay. So you guys can hear me, you can see me. I won't start the video until it kind of catches up with us and everything like that. So we're gonna go through a few clips and everything, and I'm gonna give my little commentary behind the clips and everything, and we're gonna knock this on out and give you guys good information. You know, the California forest fires were pretty brutal. It really was. You know, like really messy. And I'm like they don't know if it's like, just the sparks of some other fire to arson to just it's just a mess. And the way that they handled it is a mess, but we will go through that when we get there. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, guys. I want to start off by saying that starting off 2025 and sticking to your New Year's resolution is a hard thing, especially if it's about doing a total change of your surrounding. You know what I mean? And for me, I think the best thing is, I always say it because me as a filmmaker, when I'm out there filming, I don't really want to deal with a lot of the minutia of business and all that stuff like that. I deal with it to make sure that I'm not like making any desperate situations in the beginning that I would hate during the process. You would hate to kind of give up a bunch of percentage, and you haven't even done the movie, and you haven't even gone through the trials and tribulations to even see if your funders can actually handle funding a movie. You know what I mean? And so I always make sure that I never do deals on the front end, because what if people underperform on their financial obligations? You know what I'm saying? So, and the truth of the matter is, I was right. People underperform on their financial obligations, and you need to be able to have the room to bring in other people to make sure that the work gets well funded, gets well presented, and that your hands is not tied to the presentation. I mean, your hand is not tied in what level you want to present. So that's what I do, and that's, I'm pretty smart about that in a way. I'm kind of looking at this and trying to see what's going on, but it's giving me some low reading. I don't know what that is. It's pretty weird. Thought I already did these. Okay. So, yeah, I don't like the juddering. I really don't. I'm a person that I just like, I like to enjoy it. You know what I mean? If it's, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you can't even enjoy your own show because it's juddering. How you guys doing? So, yeah, I know. I might have to start to stream over. Find a way through it. Trying to watch it to see if it goes down. And, yeah, it's going down as we speak. Yep. See? Okay. Yeah, it's going down as we speak. Like I said, it's about 10 minutes that I know that the system starts to catch up with me and understand and train itself what I'm kind of doing, but I don't like it because sometimes it messes up me talking to you guys. But look, YouTube is a strange thing. Like, even in the algorithm, I'm doing hours of shows and stuff like that, really detailed work and everything. And then I'll see that I'm not getting any views. I'm not getting any subscribers. So please, guys, don't just come across this video. I need you guys to hit that like, follow, and subscribe. Why? Because I'm just a little man. I'm just a little person in the scope of the podcast world and social media influencer world and people that's doing this. And you got to help me out. You are the power of all this that we do when we do podcasting. And if you're charitably clicking likes, why not charitably click? It's for free. Click on mines, okay? Click like and subscribe and follow mines, okay? Like I said, I have hours, hundreds of hours on Rumble, and I have hours here on YouTube. And you could go research me all the way back to 2015, 2016, 2017, the pandemic. I did a podcast called Life Choice, Health and Wealth with a gentleman named Khalil Biddle, and he passed. But we did some awesome coverage of the pandemic on that. So it's not like I'm just throwing myself in here and asking you guys to follow and support me. There's a background in this, and I want you guys to understand. Please support and start off by hitting that like, follow, and subscribe. In addition to that, if you can, show some power, some strength. And if you guys want me to put this thing together so much where I would show you the way to replace Fox News on a 24-hour time span. But I need your help on that. And I need you guys to give to the Venmo and the PayPal. I have a plan. I have a system going. And I'm telling you, we can do it. We can do it together. You know what I mean? And I know, trust me, and there's so much we could deal with, but we can't deal with it right now in the conversation of this. But let's get it going. So if you guys can, in the description area, all the links are down there. And give. Okay. So first clip we're gonna go to is this, because the forest fires are always happening. Even during Trump's presidency, his first presidency, he was dealing with it. I think one kind of raged over there. So I want to kind of give you guys this is more of a rewind to some of the things he said when the forest fire happened during his first presidency.
Chico, California, where President Trump is visiting the incident command post for the deadly Camp Fire. At least 71 people have been killed by that wildfire. 1,000 people still unaccounted for. This is Jerry Brown. Oh, this is the president. Let's listen in.
Heavily. There's a big area of very intense flame right now that's next to a very explosive area, would you say? I mean, it's a very big problem out there going, and they're fighting like hell. We've never seen anything like this in California. We've never seen anything like this, Jerry. It's like total devastation. But again, I want to thank everybody. And Brock is going to give you a little presentation as to where we're going, what we're doing, and how we're doing it. But again, the men and women that are fighting this fire are incredible. You know that more than 70 people are lost, are gone. And we're looking for hundreds of people right now. There are literally hundreds that they're looking for. And hopefully that's going to be a good conclusion instead of a bad conclusion. Maybe they left and maybe they're with their loved ones somewhere else, so we just don't know about it. But they're looking for hundreds of people. And we'll know the answer to that over the next 48 hours, I think, for the most part. Brock, perhaps you could give a little bit of a presentation as to how we're going to stop the rest of this monster.
Yes, sir. So, Mr. President, as we've discussed, this is probably the worst disaster that I've seen in my career. It's going to take a partnership at all levels of government, not only helping the governor achieve his response and recovery goals, but also it's the time for neighbor helping neighbor. That's what's most important. FEMA is on the ground. I've been here since Tuesday, making sure that we have full situational awareness on how to help the state achieve what needs to be done when it comes to the firefighting, but also the taking care of people part, the mass care issue. So we have set up disaster recovery centers where we're also asking people to call 1-800-621-FEMA or go to disasterassistance.gov to register. To this point, as of this morning, I think we've had over 12,000 people already registered into our assistance system, and we've handed out close to $3 million directly to those who have qualified for assistance. Obviously, the firefight is the main priority in taking care of people and making sure that we can get people transitioning out of shelters into longer-term homes. And then we're also working with Mark Villaducci in the state of California, who's done a tremendous job making sure that we help them understand how we're going to do debris removal and get the infrastructure back up so that we can start to help communities like Concal and Paradise strive for a new normal. So with that, I think it's time for us to turn it over to the incident commanders fighting the fire.
Mr. President, if I can turn you. So this is a progression map of the fire. The blue was the very first day when we experienced the most significant damage. Obviously, it went almost 55,000 acres within the first 12 hours, and almost 8,000 structures were burning that time. So me, the Concal, Paradise, which I believe the Magali were all part of that. There are still significant challenges with the Feather River drainage and the weather, the receive in there, the winds, and the red flag warning is still coming this weekend. A lot of fires are going to happen. Absolutely. There's this whole area, especially in the river drainage, and there's still communities of Berry Creek and other communities outside the burn area that we are concerned about. Well, good luck. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President, do you see any role of climate change in the fires that you see in California?
Say it.
The role of climate change in these fires in California?
Well, I think you have a lot of factors. We have the management factor that I know Jerry's really been up on and very well. And Gavin is we're going to be looking at it together. And right now that seems to be a very big problem. And we're going to get that problem solved. In the Farm Bill, we're putting quite a bit of money, about $500 million in the Farm Bill for management and maintenance of the forests beyond this area, but really management, $500 million. That'll be in the Farm Bill. We just put it in. The Farm Bill's moving along pretty rapidly for our great farmers. But we have a new category, and that's management and maintenance of the forests. It's very important. I want to thank you folks over there, right there, law enforcement. Great job.
Does seeing this devastation though change your opinion at all on climate change, Mr. President?
No. I have a strong opinion. I want great climate. We're going to have that, and we're going to have forests that are very safe, because we can't go through this every year. We go through this, and we're going to have safe forests, and that's happening as we speak. No, we're going to work together with the federal government. No, state, local, and federal government. Federal government's going to work with the state and local, and we're going to help them with funding. And it's going to take a lot of funding. I will tell you that.
Should they have done things differently before this point?
A lot of things have been learned. And they've been working very hard. And I think you're going to see something very spectacular over the next number of years.
I think if we can really look at the facts from a very open point of view, there are a lot of elements to be considered.
Okay, somebody's mic went out.
1,000 people still on
Okay, so yeah, she's talking, so they cut the mic. Okay. Yeah, what I want you guys to understand, the reason why I'm showing you something that's about 4 or 5 years ago is because that would be part of, it would be more than that, because that would be part of his first term. So it had to be, this video's got to be about 4 or 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years, 6, maybe probably 60 years ago. So, or 7, if it's 2017 or 2018. So, but my point of showing you this is because Trump, he's been really upset about how California's been managing the forests, and he's kind of been talking about like he'll call it like forest management. And what that means is it's a tree that falls down and they just leave it. They just leave it there, and it's like a dead, dry wood that's not getting water soaked in because it's dead. You know what I mean? So it gets drier and drier and drier, and it makes for a hell of a match, pretty much. You know. In addition to that, it's a lot of the forest of California is in a certain way that you need to manage it, because you're building houses and stuff around it and on the outskirts of it. So you can't just leave like leaves and forest particles and dead tree, dead wood and all that stuff. You can't just leave it there. You know what I mean? Because what if a fire starts? It would do a crazy rush to it, because it's such a dry wood and leaves and stuff like that. So that will rush and start to it would like make it like a storm of a firestorm, because you got all that dead leaves and trees for decades and years still on the ground floor of the actual woods. So he was this is like 7-8 years ago. So he's been really pissed about this, and him and Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, they've been going back and forth about this. They've been really, you know, even when he was in the White House, he was telling him, man, you gotta do forest management. You gotta rake up that stuff. You gotta clean up, have teams go in there and clean up the forest grounds and stuff to make the fires not have so much fuel. You get what I'm saying? He's been back and forth with him at least for the last 8 years. So I just wanted to go back and show you guys him communicating this even 4 to 5 years ago. Okay. So as it goes, people know this. It's not only Trump, but a lot of people, even a lot of Californian people, even a lot of people know that this is not sustainable. Plus, they're rerouting their water, so the water that would naturally come down into that area, that forest area, they routed it into the Pacific so it wouldn't destroy or harm. They call it a smelt fish. Okay, and that's crazy, because now you don't got no water that's naturally coming into the area to help fight off the forest fires, or even get into the pipe stream of the city water supply system. So that kind of explains to you, and I just wanted to kind of start with that. And like I said, I'm gonna use some Joe Rogan clips to kind of give you guys, because he does he's a liberal guy, and he kind of like care about the environment and all that stuff. So he be having a lot of like people that research this stuff And I'm going to stick to the conversations about California and its forest issues. So you guys can understand information is all known. It's already known. The risk analysis is already known. If it's happening, if it's known by podcasters and commentary people, and then it's known by the government, federal government. That's why I wanted to show you proof that even Trump was talking about what they need to do to stop this kind of stuff. I didn't know that forest fire had 71 people that died effective of him saying it on pretty much the day of and everything. And 71 people that died. That's crazy. It's 24 with this new forest fire from the last time I seen. But man, 71, that's ridiculous. So this is in the how can I say, in a long story short, this is unnecessary. What's going on? It really is, because it's known. These are known threats. Okay? Next video.
2. Boom. What's up, man? How are you?
Hello.
Thanks for being here.
I'm pleased to get here. It's a kind of a strange day in this part of LA, isn't it?
This is as strange as it ever gets. The big concern in Los Angeles has always been, according to a firefighter that I talked to once, that the right wind catches a fire and it takes it all the way through Los Angeles down to the coast.
Yeah.
It's not quite that. It didn't go through Hollywood. It didn't go. They think one day it's going to happen, and with the right wind, they're not going to be able to stop it. But
Jesus, yeah.
This is pretty bad. This is about as bad as I've ever seen it. It happen all in one day.
Yeah, it was extraordinary driving down the road to get here. Just these huge, just huge, pillowy. I thought it was just mountains, and I thought it was a strange cloud formation, but it was just simply smoke.
Yeah, it looks
terrifying.
like a giant gray mountain in the distance. Yeah, it's insane how bad it's gotten. I've had it happen. This is the third time I've been evacuated since I've moved here 20 plus years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it gets rough, but this is the roughest I've ever seen. Jamie and I were doing the podcast yesterday, and when it was over, I had like 5 text messages from friends that live in my neighborhood saying how bad it was. And then when we got home, the wind was just crazy, and
So yeah, this definitely about 6-7 years ago, because Joe Rogan, he's in Austin now. He's in actually Texas now. So he moved his whole company and everything, and his employees and everything out of California, because he hated how liberal it was, and the taxes, the taxation of them and everything. So he's talking here as if he's living in California. So that lets you know this is like years ago. Literally he's been in Texas for a while now. So this got to be about 7-8 years ago. I wouldn't be shocked.
Kind of a strange day in this just
yesterday, and when it was over, I had like 5 text messages from friends that live in my neighborhood saying how bad it was. And then when we got home, the wind was just crazy, and it's humbling. It's super unfortunate for all the people that are losing their homes and losing their property. But the reality is, this is it's nature. This is just something that you just can't avoid. There's nothing you can do about it. It gets dry like this, and I don't know what started it. I hope it wasn't a cigarette, because that's the big concern. I see so many morons throwing cigarettes out the window when they dry.
It's not just a weather thing that just happens. It is literally things like cigarettes and
unfortunately, a lot of the times, the weather certainly accentuates it because it's dry and windy. Yeah, this is fire season.
Well. Please be all sat
thanks
here
for being here, man.
On these incredibly comfortable chairs.
They're not bad, right?
They're amazing because they support your back as well, which as a 47-year-old man is this is a helpful. So I'm keep bouncing away from the microphone, which I'm sure isn't good. But yeah, they're incredible.
They keep you sitting straight. That's what they do. They accentuate your posture.
They do. There you go.
So what's up, man? What are you doing in town for?
Shoulders back, chest out.
Yeah, there
Jordan
you go.
Would be proud.
There you go.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here for a week. I've got a show on Netflix that's come out, so I'm just kind of generally here to talk about it, I guess, and seen a couple of friends, and it's been a really nice week.
Yeah, this is a good way to end it too. The giant fire that's just saying,
the giant fire.
Darren, get the fuck out of here quickly. These people are crazy living here with no water. It never rains.
Yeah, it's very different back home. It's amazing just at this time of year leaving England and coming to somewhere like, I mean, I'm sure you don't take it for granted, but it is amazing just for
the weather,
for a bit. Would you like LA as a place and a home and does it, I mean, you've got an amazing sort of setup here. Is it just a dream place to you, LA? It's
a love-hate relationship, certainly. The real problem is the population is just so insane. There's more than 20 million people. Plus, who knows people, how many, they really don't have no idea how many people have snuck in. It's just a chaotic place.
And no public transport. It just hit me the other day. There's like there is no trains. There's no infrastructure so everyone's driving these huge vehicles.
Everyone has an Escalade or a Tesla or something. Yeah, it's just a strange place. The highways are massive. You have 5-6 lanes on each side, and they're jammed solid where nothing's moving either way. And if you can see it from when you realize how preposterous it is when you're flying into LAX and you see the 405 highway in the distance, and it's all stopped for as long as you could see, miles one way and miles the other way, just complete parking lot. And you just realize, wow, what are we doing here? They found a spot with great weather, and and then the entertainment industry draws people in.
So he's, and I'm the reason why I let that play is because his description of California and his bird's eye view of it, you know what I mean? This is not knowing that he was gonna move a multi-$100 million infrastructure to Texas and everything. But yeah, all that stuff, I like, even when I go to California, I go in, I'll go film something for a client or something like that, and boy, and I'm telling you, after 2 days I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? If I'm doing filming and the work, I love it. It's a beautiful scenery place. You could do a lot there. It's for me, I could find years. If I'm working, if I'm out there filming and stuff, I can find years of like just always doing another scene, just filming and finding more ways and beautiful ways to shoot it and all kind of stuff, because the scenery is beautiful, but the social dynamics of it, no thank you. I'm not attracted to any of the stuff there. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I'm like, I like the scenery of it for a cinematic purpose. But besides that, it's almost just like a movie set. That's all it is to me. So, yeah. So, okay. Let's go to the next clip.
I talked to a fireman once. This is one of the reasons it freaked me out. He goes, dude, one day, he goes, it's just going to be the right wind, and fire's going to start in the right place, and it's going to burn through LA all the way to the ocean, and there's not a thing we can do about it. I go, really? He goes, yeah, we just get lucky. He goes, we get lucky with the wind. He goes, but if the wind hits the wrong way, it's just going to burn straight through LA, and there's not going to be a thing.
Wow. Yeah. And look, like I said, I'm giving you guys information of preemptive knowledge of this and conversations about this to how bad it is now. And we can't look at this as the new normal. You know what I mean? But we have to start criticizing.
To protect a tiny little fish, no water, because
we have to criticize people not being properly prepared for it, though. We do have to do that. So, this is Trump during this presidential election, and he said something that was coming out to be true right now.
In order to protect a tiny little fish, the water up north gets routed into the Pacific Ocean.
Check this out. People will remember this. This is from barely 2 months ago when Trump went on Joe Rogan, and they talked about some of the mismanagement of California and why this could be a big problem in the future.
They said, we have no water. I said, do you have a drought? No, we don't have a drought. I said, why don't you have no water? Because the water isn't allowed to flow down. It's got a natural flow from Canada all the way up north of water, more water than they could ever use. And in order to protect a tiny little fish, the water up north gets routed into the Pacific Ocean. Millions and millions of gallons of water gets poured. I could have water for all of that land, water for your forests. You know, your forests are dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Okay?
Dangerous.
That water could be routed. You know, you could have everything. Oh, not only dangerous, billions of dollars a year they spend on forest fires. And, you know, there's a case with the environment. They're not allowed to rake their forests because you're not allowed to touch it. And all they have to do is clean their forest, meaning rake it up, get rid of the leaves, get rid of, leaves that are sitting there for 5 years. And
we'll certainly get rid of the dead fall.
And get rid of the trees that are fallen that are like.
All right, so there's Trump 2 months ago.
Okay. I want to hear people commentary about it. So I'm going to go back to, but I just want you guys to kind of hear Trump talk, not Dave Rubin and Dr. Drew. It's ridiculous. I had to just go grab that clip from somewhere. So now we're going to get into the forest fire and the mess of it all and stuff like this. So now when I come back, we're going to actually just go straight through, because I think we got about maybe 30 minutes of some major mess to watch, some barbaric stuff to see. Okay, so I wanted to kind of say, okay, we're gonna go into the actual viewing of the barbaricness of the fire, and let me see if we should start right now, because I don't want to start it and then stop it. So let's let this part be about the conversation of the preemptive of the forest fires, and then we're going to come back in and we're all news. We're going to look at it. We're going to see the damage. We're going to kind of go through the process of what's going on there and what was kind of damage that was going on there, and we're going to get through that. And then second one will be the political responses from it and everything like that, and then, like I said, the aftermath of it. But obviously we're gonna be kind of doing this first part in like 2 parts. This is like a half an hour, you know what I'm saying, that we at right now. These forest fires are important because of, at least California is, because it's indiscriminate to the type of people that lose their house, but at the same time, some very wealthy people and very celebrities, and also just regular citizens lost their property and their life and stuff. And it's like inside of a Mel Gibson, inside of Mel Gibson houses, like he's got artifacts and different paintings and all kind of stuff in there, and all of that's gone. He couldn't grab everything. He couldn't grab it. So he just took the passports and very much needed thing, got his family out of there, and everything else just got disintegrated. And we're talking about, he said like he had a book that was 1,600 years old. 1,600 years old book. Obviously that book is worth millions, okay? And it got disintegrated. It got burnt up. So it's, for him, he's, as long as his family is alive and he's alive, then he's got to kind of content with that. But when he thinks about it, what was in there, he knows like it's some very, very, very irreplaceable things that got burnt up in there. And this is what I'm talking about. And then you find out that all of this is in part of bad city management to the water. Because that's what it's all coming down to. And just remember that I said that there's bad management with the water and situations like that. So we're going to come back on. I know I started pretty early at 8 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that. So we're going to come back in with the second part. And then we're going to continue this, the fire. You know what I mean? The storm of, like I call it, California raging firestorm. So this the California forest fire, and we're gonna come back and make sure that we do part 2 to this, and we're gonna look I'm gonna take you through at least a couple more hours of information. But like I said, I wanted to split it up into 3 parts, but just because of I gotta go jump off of here and then jump back on for in the next 30-40 minutes. So I'll be right back in the next 40 minutes, and we're gonna continue this, and we're gonna go straight into 10 and 11 o'clock, and by the time noon, I'm all done. I'm out of your way. Okay. This is Individual Perspective Podcast. My name is Daris D. McKinney, and this is our coverage of the California forest fire, and we will be back.